WIIFTBP. WIIFTBP.
What's going on, people? Happy Wednesday. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Drinko.
Welcome to the Kris the Critic Show. I'm Kris, along with my co-host Gina B.
Hey.
Gina B, say hello to everyone.
Hello.
If you haven't
beautiful
already,
people.
please go to your next room, grab your shot of tequila, take a shot. We've already had ours.
And if you're an amateur drinker, which a lot of you are, have two shots because that's
step
the day.
your game up. Step your game
It's
up.
like New Year's Eve, right? Like New Year's Eve is amateur night for drinkers.
It is.
And Cinco de Mayo is a close second. Did
I
you know
agree
that?
with that.
St. Patrick's Day is for experienced drinkers.
St. Patty's Day, any Mexican holiday,
Anything.
heavy drinking.
You about to get white girl wasted up in here.
We are. We are. So, again, welcome to the Kris the Critic show on the What's in It for the Black People Network.
Yeah.
We got a good show today.
It's going to be a fun one.
We got a good show. Speaking of Cinco de Mayo, I want to give a quick birthday shout out to 3 of my homies. And I don't even give
3
birthday shout out to relatives, any of that. Obviously, some cool dudes. Brett Hughes, happy birthday, bro. Jimmy Wells, happy birthday, bro. And my man, Big Eric Danzler, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to all
Love
of you.
you all. Those are my brothers.
Love it.
Yeah, you dig?
Love it.
We got a good show, people. And I need y'all to weigh in because I love this topic. Before I was on the What's in It for the Black People Network, some of you may have seen me in my living room shooting a little 4 to 5, 7 minute thing. I did this show, October 2018. So if you've seen it,
I wasn't on that one, was I?
you weren't on
I
that.
wasn't
So don't
on
tell
that
anybody.
one.
So it is called The Cougar and the Sugar Daddy. So we are going to talk about Cougar and the Sugar Daddy and the pros and cons of both.
Okay.
And we will not leave out the Cougar Cub or the Sugar Baby. Got it? Now, before we even start the show, I want all you all to start typing now. Have you ever been
Either.
a sugar baby, cougar, any of those?
Any of those. Have you ever dated someone who you felt was not age appropriate for you?
And we want to hear, just type it in. We'll read it.
For money.
We'll look. Don't say, first, good point. First off, there's a fine line between prostitution and cougarism
it's
and
very
sugar
fine.
daddy. We're going to talk about all the
It's
legal
a very fine.
We're going to talk about all the legal stuff tonight on this show.
Very
So,
fine line.
if you've ever done any of those, type it in. Give us a brief synopsis.
Yeah.
We don't
are
need the
looking
whole
at comments.
thing.
We were watching. I am watching both this phone and there's a screen.
And we're going to
that's
read those at the
mirroring.
half. And
So
anything
we're gonna do
interesting
that.
we'll say. I almost had a guess. I posted this. I won't say her name. Initials KK. No, I'm just messing
You were
around.
so silly.
She says, oh my God, my last boo was 28. Now,
And how old is she?
late 40-ish.
72. Yeah, no, she's in late 40s. Okay.
Yeah, she was real happy. I couldn't get her on the show, but she was
Listen.
happy to talk about
Well,
it.
you know, it's
Then we
not-
had another person that said, I like younger men, but I don't pay. Well, hold on, watch this.
Okay.
Everybody pays.
So sugar mamas
We're not there yet.
are hard to find. Anyway,
They are hard. They're not hard to find.
kinda.
We'll get there.
We will. All right. I think
So-
my friend Heather's watching. Hey, Heather.
Hey, Heather. I don't know Heather, but hey. I know Heather.
You know Heather.
I met Heather at a...
Yes, exactly.
When
You
I met
Heather.
you.
Bonjour.
Ah, man.
Yes.
Hey,
so
Heather.
Heather is watching us
Thanks
right
for joining,
now. So we
Heather.
got to make it a good show.
We will. I'll try.
Okay.
We'll try. Gina's here to be a good show. I got like 10 minutes worth of stuff, and then Gina's going to take up. So, again, we've asked if you have any experience, past, present, type it in. We want to read it.
We do.
Any regrets, anything you would have done differently.
Heather, we want to hear from you.
So, there are, again, 4 players in this play.
Okay. Who are the cast of characters?
Cast of characters are the Cougar, Sugar Daddy, the Sugar Baby, Cougar Baby. Now, if we can use those in, if you want to change it, if you want to call a Cougar Cub or Cougar Baby, the Cougar's a woman, an older woman
Okay.
with a younger man, whatever you so choose
And the
to call it.
sugar daddy.
We'll start with the Sugar Daddy.
Let's start with sugar daddy. Let's start
So
with that.
I'm going to go with some things that I think are pros for being a sugar daddy, and then cons.
Okay.
You add in. Let me know
I'll add in.
if I'm wrong.
I gotcha.
So it's not a bad deal for the sugar daddy. It's not a bad deal for anybody if the community lines of communication drawn correct. They get some good young loving, right?
Right.
Younger women. Nothing against any of my sisters who are more mature, but typically, men too. We have better figures when we're younger versus when we're older.
Of course.
So that's one thing. And people don't say this. I've been around a lot of older men, and I'm getting older. I know I don't look it, but I'm getting older. Old men are real freaky.
So freaky. But
Go ahead.
talk about the inception of the sugar daddy. Like, why does a man become a sugar daddy?
Because he's a freak and he has some money to spend.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about the psychology of a sugar daddy.
He might be slightly controlling.
Okay. I think, here's my thought.
Go ahead.
I think
I'm not letting any men be bashed.
I'm not bashing anyone.
Because they won't be bashed on this
No,
episode. This is anti-feminati.
I need you to stop.
This is the anti-feminati show.
I need you to stop. No, here's the deal. Here's the deal. So I think that all the sugar daddies that I've seen, encountered, met.
All of your sugar daddies.
All of mine. No, I've never, okay, let me clarify. I've never had a sugar daddy because I don't have daddy issues, but that's a whole different thing. So.
I don't think you have to have daddy issues.
No, I know. My money issues are never that. I'm like, that's okay, I'll just pay. Rather than see old man ass, but that's a whole different story. So I think a lot of dudes become sugar daddies when they just want a hot young thing on their arm.
Right.
They can afford it.
Okay.
And they don't necessarily want to hear a lot of opinions from like a wife. Like they don't want to. They just want, and they also, it's part of the ego thing. They want the ego boost of, see how fine this woman can be on my arm.
Right.
You know, that's what it is. And then there's a little bit of like freaky pervy shit going on too.
Excellent synopsis.
It's a combo meal.
I actually disagree with nothing you just said.
Thank you.
You see that a lot, and thanks for pointing that out, in professional sports.
Right.
The owner of a professional NFL franchise. First wife is always for love.
Yeah.
But that second wife
is
usually about 25, 27 years old. He's about 79 going on 110.
Right. She's not getting in his business. All she wants to do is spend some of that cash.
But I will say, all of those relationships, and I do take slight offense to you frowning up, making that face as about old men, because one day I will be an old man. And I would be willing to. I would be willing to beg if I said old woman and frowned up and did this. They would cancel me. The feminati would come after me. So I take offense to that. I'm going to say these are some old gentlemen. They are some control freaks. But seriously, but here's another pro. That little blue pill, right?
Oh God, blue pill.
It used to be okay. I'm showing off for the public. You know, I got this nice little girl on my arm. Now, they knocking it out, right? It is what it is. 100 milligram, they might double pop on them.
Yeah, and they double pop. They're going to the hospital. And they need a woman that's old enough to realize the signs of a heart attack or a stroke. So
true.
That's another thing. But yeah.
So those are the pros, but there's some cons to it too.
To being a sugar daddy?
It is.
Okay.
Here's one of the main cons that I see. Or I've seen, at least in our community, not the world of NFL owners. A Social Security check only goes so far, right? And at some point, your little sugar baby gets a little smarter. We all get a little smart as we get a little older. She's like, wait a minute now, how much am I getting? And for doing what?
Versus.
I mean, she got old. My wife hates when I does it. Been gay balls. She got to deal with that.
Bengay balls, old man ass.
It's bad. It's bad. And sometimes the guys get caught up. They mistake this for an arrangement. I mean, there have been cases. I'll talk about it in. There are websites. Anybody looking to be a sugar baby, if you're in the demo,
right?
Seekingarrangement.com. There have actually been men who've taken their sugar babies to court because they thought the relationship was something else.
Oh, come on.
They
chum the waters. They chum the waters with their money, and they think all of a sudden she's in love with his old ass. Now,
it is what it is. Now, another con is you will be hated on by the family of the sugar baby. They will not like your old ass.
They will
banging their daughter. And your older kids won't like you. Because think about it. I'm 65 years old, right? Let's say I got a daughter. She's 40. Right?
Your kids will hate that.
Your future stepmother is 2 months older than you.
You're saying future stepmother. Okay, so
sometimes they get married.
Sometimes they do, but sometimes it's transactional.
Again, this is not, it's a fine line between prostitution, sugar daddy, sugar mama relationships. This is not that. We're talking about the legal stuff. Right?
Isn't it borderline though?
But some of them get married. Again, I go back to the NFL owner. First wife is for love.
Some people marry prostitutes.
Second, why does it have to be all of that?
I'm just saying. Some people look.
Every person watching this show, man or woman, has slept with some undesirable for free.
undesirable
For free.
But
And you mad at the person who gets some dollars for it.
A lot of people have turned hoes into housewives. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. A lot of people hoes free. May as well get paid for it.
I mean, I'm not debating
I did
that
some
part.
research on
I'm
this.
just saying that there's another
Any
part.
of you thinking about this, because I did a little research. Some people out here might want to know what the average amount is. And again,
Share that.
for all of you ladies or gentlemen who think you may qualify, mostly women, seekingarrangement.com, seeking.com.
Yep.
The average sugar baby on an arrangement brings in about $2,800 a month. That's about
From the sugar daddy.
$33,000 a year. That's average. Now, so what that means is there's some who get a few hundred. That's all they
She can
get.
still collect welfare, I think.
But
right?
it's also some apartments and cars being bought out there.
Okay.
It's worth it for some people, depending on what sugar daddy arena
Can
you're
we
in.
discuss the different classifications of sugar daddies, though?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so there's a sugar daddy, and that's the classic sugar daddy.
Okay.
I have notes on this because this was fascinating.
And Gina B never takes notes. She's off the
Never
cuff.
do, and I'm off. But I want to make sure I'm accurate, so I took some notes. Okay,
All right, go
so
ahead.
I didn't really need notes for this because this is actually quite funny to me. So there's a sugar daddy, right?
Your
Then
sugar daddy,
there's-
past sugar daddy? Somebody you know?
No.
I'm always trying to get some dirt.
There is the
I'm always trying to get some dirt.
Typic
All right, go ahead.
sugar daddy who maybe he provides a stipend. Maybe he provides, whatever. Maybe he provides an apartment, whatever he
Okay.
does, cars. Then there's the experienced daddy. That person provides zero cash, but they provide trips. They might
He's a
provide
pimp.
dining. They're not
He's a
sharing it with
pimp.
his friends.
He's
I
a
don't know.
pimp.
I don't know if that's part of the deal. But I mean, that's
I like that guy.
So okay, you're funny. So there's the experienced daddy. Okay, so he takes you on great like excursions. Maybe you'll go on a safari with experienced daddy. Maybe
All
he'll
right.
take you to like an amazing restaurant that you wouldn't be able to afford. Whatever. Okay, then this is the one that cracks me. Okay, there's the Splenda daddy. You know what that is?
Talk to me. He's something
That is
sugar-free.
He's
like,
not quite sugar. He's a little more low budget. He's a low
Wow.
budget sugar daddy.
Hey, all
He's
that money
not
counts.
Sugar.
Hold on, real quick. Shout out to Matt Martin, who's watching. That's my homie in Cali. Matt, I love you, man. Ain't seen you in a while. Matt Martin, hey, baller right there.
Okay, you
Matt
can be
Martin's
on the show
baller.
sometime.
Okay, go ahead. I will get
So
Matt
there's
Martin on the
this-
show.
Is that not hilarious? Though they call
That
it
is hilarious.
That is actually a term.
I can't believe you researched
Splenda.
some stuff.
Splenda daddy, because look, I'm not an expert in sugar daddyism, so
Allegedly.
I had to. Allegedly, I'm not. So there's that.
We found
And
out about
then-
your Instagram page
then, okay,
last time.
You gotta be careful. One picture. Then you gotta be careful of what they call the salt daddy.
What's the salt daddy?
He's an asshole.
Really?
And he is kind of a jerk, but he's not. He's kind of the misogynist.
Why would a woman be in the
so-
salt daddy?
There are a lot of women that have daddy issues and like misogynists. I don't know. That's what they're called.
Do
Salt
you
daddy.
think you've said that 5 times already?
I have.
You think everybody in this sugar daddy, sugar baby relationship has daddy issues? I don't think that.
Well,
I think some of them
do
are
believe
shrewd.
that there
Some
are
of them are shrewd business people.
some of them, but there's a faction of sugar babies
Absolutely.
who are like deep in the realm of daddy issues. Okay,
True.
so
I get that. I get that. I'm okay
there's
with
a
that. I'm
faction.
okay
I'm not
with
saying it's
that.
everybody,
Ah,
but
that's
there's
true.
people. Okay, so and then there are the people that are known in the community because there's a community of this, right? In the community, they're known as the pump and dump because all they're trying to do is
Gina
get some
B,
ass. And
it's not a family show, but what the
Just
fuck?
Shut up. Okay.
Gina B.
This is a family show. What the fuck?
She speaks so well. You just didn't expect to hear pump and dump.
But I'm quoting. It's the pump and dump.
So what do you-
that's the person who really just he's gonna maybe try to trick you into thinking he's gonna be your sugar daddy.
Does he have
but
money,
he's
like
gonna-
real cash?
Who knows? Because he's not gonna give it to you.
I think that's a big
He's
part of
just-
this thing.
He's just trying to get some ass.
Do you think
from
there
younger
can be
person.
a win-win? I do. I think it
yes.
always wears its course.
Yes, there can be a win-win.
All right. And I want to talk about that more, but you got any, you have
second,
any?
Let's go to the second segment for win-wins. I
Well,
got a
yeah,
whole
no.
list.
I was going to talk about the sugar baby now.
Let's talk about that.
I got some pros and cons. I'll run through them real quick.
Let's do it.
So, the obvious.
Uh-huh.
She gets some bills paid. There's a lot of stress that comes along with money. I know I had it, have it. Everybody's stressed about money.
More money, more problems.
Some of these women get, I told you the national average, but there's some clear winners in this. Apartments paid for, homes paid for, cars paid for. I wish somebody would take over my note right now.
When does the government get involved in this? Is what I want to know. But go ahead.
And in addition to the financial, it's someone older to listen to them. I can remember when I was a younger man,
Daddy
I really didn't care
issues.
what a woman had to say. Just being real, keep it in a buck. It is what it is. Less work, maybe. I don't know if it's less work because, again, a little blue pill, you might be working more. Some of the cons, your family will never like him.
Ever.
You're 28. He's
And
58.
if he does anything wrong, it's like, that's why I told you not to mess with that old
Your
ass.
daddy looking at him like, I can't believe this bullshit. Wait a minute, real talk.
We were in class together.
I'm
I know this
laughing.
nigga.
I'm doing it, but I got 3 daughters. I'm training them right now. If this shit happens, the motherfuckers is just fucked up. It is what it is.
Well, you know.
I hope they pull this shit up. I'm gonna see my daddy shows and get older. He getting fucked up. Now you read that shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, and again, old dudes can be pretty wild. I mean, they ask you to do stuff you just haven't heard from before. They just wild.
They will, yeah.
The con, again, older guys are, again, men are simple creatures. I always say that.
Yes.
But if they're older, they can pull the wool over on a couple, even the most
Right.
astute shit.
They can.
That's Social Security. You thinking he's a millionaire and he's a couple thousandaire.
But sometimes
That's a huge difference.
But sometimes the woman doesn't care as long as she gets what she
I agree.
wants. I mean, there can be, listen, there are low rent sugar babies.
I agree, but it's
out
always
here.
a letdown if you think you're getting this and it's this.
Most of them are trying to keep him, though.
But they're trying to keep their bills paid a while. Until,
For a while.
again,
Some of them are
at
just trying to get through college.
at some point, the relationship sours.
It does.
Whereas
yeah.
he's unhappy because usually what happens, she ain't filling her task and services and time for what you spending. And you like, man, you ain't doing enough for this
And she's
change.
trying to, and she's sick of hanging out with the crib
Right.
keeper.
The blue pill is a problem because now you used to have an old guy.
Who couldn't
Yeah,
perform.
1 or 2 times. Here you go, give you a hand
He's
job.
about to
He's done.
die. Yeah.
Now you got this old dude who's like, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm
Yeah,
ready.
he's-
Energizer Bunny.
Exactly.
And that's a problem. If I was a sugar baby, that would be a problem. All right.
Right. If you were a sugar baby, that would be. I mean,
As a matter of
like,
fact,
oh no, now I have to have sex with
We
this
talked
guy.
about his old balls. Been gay smelling balls.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Actually, out of all 4 players, the sugar baby is the only person that I think at some point early on would need to renegotiate the contract. They usually get fucked. I
Yeah,
mean,
literally.
screwed, messed up,
They get both.
messed up. So you looked up all those sugar daddies.
I had to because it was
Were there-
it was fascinating, honestly.
Were there testimonials?
Yeah.
Really? So I read about one.
Okay, what'd you read about?
There's actually, I don't even want to lead people down the path of evil. I ain't trying to pull you all the way from your beliefs or whatever you believe in. But there's a convention.
There's a sugar baby convention
There's a convention that brings daddies and babies together. Now, first
before
off,
COVID.
no disrespect to any of our listeners.
Yeah.
They skewed a lot younger for the sugar babies. I got it.
She's 12, but she yeah.
Like, they were legal. First off, they were legal.
Thank
Why
God.
did people-
I mean, like, come on.
Anyway, there's a convention, and you got some women.
in
I
Vegas?
was reading their testimonials. They're very sly. They literally, the ones who get the most out of someone, rarely mention money.
No, you can't do that.
That is a faux pas. They are. I was amazed.
Because you can't be blatant.
You had women getting car. Now they didn't say where they lived, what race, were they blonde, were they this. I don't know. I don't know. But I was fascinated by reading. I just know it's out there. It's a real thing. Hence this show.
It is.
So, which is why I asked at the beginning of the show, anyone who's ever, even if it's not 20, 30 years, because I know some women out here listening to this show, they like younger or older. I just want to hear about it. I'm not going to
Sometimes it's
exploit it.
20.
I'm not going to badmouth you. I just want to know what it's like. Because I truthfully, me, I kind of, and I, even though I'm retired, I'm out the game. But even as a younger man, I like older women. I had one experience. I'll share right out of college, right? I probably looked all of, I don't know, 16 at that time.
Right?
I wore little wireframe glasses. I didn't have these guns.
The preppy critic.
But I didn't have that. But there was a woman, one of these workout women, 35, 36. Invited me over. All right. Things happened spontaneous on the floor. I wore a suit to work, but I noticed as we're in the doggy style position, there were about I wear a 10 and a half, right, shoe. There was a size 14 shoe at the door. I'm about 23, 24. I said, wait a minute, are you married?
Right.
Because I still live at home. It is what it is. She said, those are my son's shoes. I said, what the fuck? How old is your son? Son was like 18, right? I'm like, I ain't got to meet him. I'm imagining.
Right.
How
am I going to be his stepdaddy?
She wasn't that tall.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I hear foot come. She's like, oh, put your clothes on, put your suit. I had on the suit, thank God. She turns the light down slightly. I'm on the couch. In comes some 6'3" creature. I'm 5'10" on a good day, right? I put my hand down. I was like, how you doing? He was like, how you doing, sir? And walks to his room. I was like,
how you doing, sir? He's like 6 months older than you.
I still think to this day, why did this workout lady want my young ass? And I get
I don't know how this works, do you?
I think it was a stamina thing.
That's how it works. That's why sugar mamas, in the classic sense of money,
and that's part 2 of all this. And we're going to go.
Fine.
I saved sugar mamas for last.
Yeah, save those for
Not
last.
that a lot of y'all in the sugar mama age category, but that is why I saved it for last. Quick reminder. Right after this show, we got Brian Foster coming up.
He's already in the studio.
And I peeked ahead to look at Foster's show. It's a great topic. And correct me if I'm wrong, Brian's in the studio. It is Ask a Black Man Anything You Want. He has a panel of some well-to-do black men. You can ask those. I'm a man, and I might ask him some stuff, too. But we usually leave after, but I will have him on in the car.
Yeah,
and I'm definitely asking some questions. So if you have time, tune in for Brian Foster.
Please do. He's been asking questions on Facebook, and they've been.
Brian Foster got us through the pandemic.
Tuning into these questions.
Not to turn this into a Brian, but he got us through the pandemic. It is what it is.
He did.
I give y'all a little show every week, 4 or 5 minutes. Brian Foster had 5 shows.
Yeah.
Right, every day of the week. And then after that, we got Week Hell Wednesdays, and that's HEAUX. Because we can't say ho.
We can't say ho?
I
say ho all day.
That show, I'm telling you, if you haven't seen it.
It gets more and more ratchet from here. Okay,
but I honestly think
we're mild.
If there was one show that I could say, that show is going to be the first to 1 million viewers.
It would be.
It would be Week Ho Wednesday.
Just because you just can't believe it.
I watch the topics like, damn, I wish I could talk about that, but I get in trouble at home.
You would. You get in big trouble.
First off, I run the team. I run the team.
Okay. Mrs. Levy, you might want to chime in on that.
You just use my government name on it. We just ain't friends no more. But anyway. So.
Anyway.
Before, you want to say anything about the Cougar Baby? Because I'm dying to get to the Sugar Mama.
Yeah, well, you're dying to get the sugar. You want to talk about Cougar Babies first?
I want to know, no. Do
you want to wait till the next
I want to know,
segment,
do you exhaust it with the Sugar Babies?
No, I haven't exhausted with Sugar Babies.
I want to know what you guys say about the Sugar Baby. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're thinking about being a Sugar Baby, if you are, there are benefits that Kris did not name for being a Sugar Baby, right? There are financial benefits, yes. No strings attached necessarily, so that's another thing.
Why? I like the strings attached, but okay, no strings attached.
You don't have to have strings attached.
That's true. That's true. It's an arrangement. It's an arrangement.
Like you don't want to be responsible for planning his funeral, so you don't want to have strings attached. They don't have to be monogamous, which for some sugar babies, that's a good thing. Like they can go hang out with the guy that's the same age as them, and then they can get their money from the dude who has a lot of cash.
Do you think the sugar daddies, because you have the profiles of at least 5 types, are okay with that? I
cannot speak to that.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe they agree. It's another benefit is that it could be a very transparent relationship. Like, I'm giving you money. This is what you do.
Right.
And this is when I show up.
Okay.
And this is what I'm not going to do. And we haven't even gotten into whether or not the dude is married. Like,
that's a whole other thing. My mind didn't even go there because I'm scared of my wife.
There can be some married sugar daddies
and
out there.
And I can't just see. I'm telling you right now.
A lot of sugar babies don't care if the man is married.
Most married black men that I know, wives can put up with a lot. But if you're found, you're paying some chick.
Don't throw some dollars somewhere.
If you're paying some
let me
chick,
figure that out.
That's a death sentence. I don't even dream about that.
There will be glass in your food.
I don't even. Did you? Why are you even giving people ideas? Did you say glass in your food? Gina B just got engaged. If her fiance is listening, just know that
I don't even think he's listening.
If it ever gets to that point, she thinks about glass.
He's heard this before. This is not a new sentiment to him.
I don't even like that you said that. My wife might be listening.
Listen, I'm just saying. Don't look. You cannot get between me and $1. I'm just telling you.
Anyway, you got a minute before we take a quick break. Go ahead.
The good news is that if you pick a sugar daddy, even if you want to be in an advanced age and be a sugar baby, he'll always be older than you. So that's good.
That's
true. And there are so if you would like to actually be a professional at some point, the sugar daddies are more established, and so he can mentor you.
True. Good point.
You can be in like a better class of people if you go out to events with him than you would at your own age. Different mindsets, maybe people that are more accomplished.
Sound pretty familiar with all this. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then you can I'm telling you, you can travel at a much higher level. Like it's not like let's 12 of us share a Hampton Inn room. It can be like, can we have a suite at the Four Seasons, please? Yeah, so that is a different level of experience than you might have. Just saying.
We're gonna take a quick break. We've had a couple people before this show, some who've even been guests on our show, inquire about how to get a sugar daddy. So, Gina B might be able to speak to that. Save a little room at the end of the show. We'll give you a couple ideas.
Yes.
Or what you might be able to do to that person. We won't mention your name.
Yes.
Or your initials.
And
said that.
By the way, my friend Lisa's watching. Hi,
so,
Lisa.
Hey, Lisa. We will be back in 3 minutes.
Less.
2-ish minutes.
2 and 2.
Please stick around, call a friend. While you're waiting, like Kris the Critic page. Follow Kris the Critic. Share this. Tell somebody about it. Do something for us because they don't pay us that much. But we'll be back in 2 or 3 minutes. Kris the Critic and Gina B back in 2-3-ish minutes. Peace.
Yes.
WIIFTBP.
Hey, sunshines. If you didn't catch the last page in the Book of Dawn, here's what you missed. So you found that, but you also, during those times, made a conscious decision to create a base for yourself outside of the Isleys or the great artists that you tour with. And from that, the Mo Fitz Project was born. Can you tell us how and why you did the Mo Fitz Project?
Let me tell you something. I had been touring since I was 17. And what happened was your girl Eve was doing different events around town. And I remember it was right on 47th Street.
I think it was Blue 47.
One of those spots. So Eve was doing something with them. So they were like, we're hiring bands. I was like, I'm going to put something together and go play local. Let me do that. And through that situation from Eve, the Mo Fitz Project was birthed. I was like, oh, okay, this would be great to actually come home and put quality guys together and make music locally outside of the touring. I just found another joy in it. And crazy, remember Terrence Kane came up with the Mo Fitz.
Oh, did he? Kane? Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Terrence was like, you need to call it the Mo Fitz, Reese E. Mo Fitz. Use your name. This is how that name came about. It was Terrence Kane and my girl Eve Bridgeworth. She was the launching pad for that. And then she would hire me to do different events. And she started hiring me to do weddings and stuff she was doing. And then it just kind of birthed into that.
Don't forget to tune in weekdays, 9 a.m. to the Book of Dawn from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. Roll Tide, y'all.
Welcome back, people, to the Kris the Critic Show with Kris and Gina B. Tonight's topic, the cougar and the sugar daddy.
That's right.
So far we've talked about sugar daddy and the sugar baby. Mm-hmm. But now we're going to delve into a less spoken about topic. The cougar and her cougar cubs, or cougar babies, or younger man, whatever you want to call it. Right. First off, only because I know a lot of folks in here might be in their early 40s. Show of hands, anybody that is looking for
like in earnest,
a cougar cub.
Who is looking for an earnest, a cougar cub?
We can't see you. I just want to see a couple likes.
Like click the heart.
Right, no, yeah, let's do that. If you're looking for a man younger, click the heart.
Right.
If you're looking for somebody older, click the like. I just want to know what we got going.
And so I have theories.
Do you?
Yeah,
so,
but go ahead. What you have first?
Most men, because I want to hear your theories.
I'm sure you do.
You always think of a guy wanting someone younger, but I can tell you that as a younger man, I can remember at least my buddies and I talk. Okay, wait a minute. So what did we say the likes were?
We have a lot of likes, and people
Those
aren't hitting the love button. They're hitting
like older,
they
right?
want younger. They
No,
want
the likes were older. We fucking forgot.
Okay. No, I was under the impression that everything was that they want a younger.
No, one was older, one was younger.
I don't know that was the truth.
All right, somebody
whatever.
Type if the like, because we got some likes, was the younger who remembered, because Gina B didn't.
And
that was her
Kris
one
has
job
some
for the
shots.
day.
Yeah.
She didn't do it. But seriously, men,
Like, how was this
when
my
I was a
job?
younger guy, wanted someone older, right? And I can attest that a lot of men at my slightly more mature age, if they weren't with the people they were with, or if they're single, they probably skew younger for reasons we've talked about before. Not necessarily they're younger, they just act more kittenish. I always say this thing.
Tiger Lily to the rescue. Tiger Lily says like was older, Hearts was younger.
Yeah, so that's what I thought.
Okay.
So again, now
just make sure that everybody understood that when they were
so
selecting.
thank you, Tiger Lily. And I say that because what I've heard now as an older man, my wife, I'm not saying any of your friends' names, my love. She's probably got one friend. She knows who she is. They're like some right out of high school, right?
Yeah. I had a friend like that. We used to call her Lunchbox Lisa.
But the rest of them are like, younger men are too much effing work.
And that was my friend who we used to call
I think my wife thinks something.
Gene.
If she gets rid of me, it's going to be an old white dude in my house who's with a lot of money. And I'm going to have a young Asian chick who says yes to everything.
Okay.
Whatever.
Doesn't matter what.
Yes, Kris. Yes, sir.
You are so silly.
That sounded sort of racist.
Silly. It did.
I don't want
That's
to
why
get
I'm
canceled.
Dude, don't
by the
play around
feminati
right now.
Or the
This
racial
isn't the right,
committee.
This isn't the right climate for all that.
Yeah. I retract
Be
that
careful.
statement. I apologize for it.
Even
But
though we all know the truth now. So
the Cougars, there are some women who've been married or in relationships. Ladies, tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe the guy's flag didn't go all the way up. It was half, Maybe it didn't work right.
all the way up.
Exactly. Maybe he's slacking in the bedroom.
Is he packing or lacking?
Sometimes a woman who has her own everything, own money, own car, has been in that relationship. Maybe their kids are older. Maybe there's that one area in life that you are lacking.
It could be.
I think it makes sense.
It does.
And I'll give a couple pros, and I'm going to turn the mic over. The pros I see of being a cougar. A younger man can rise to the attention when needed. Mm-hmm. A lot of older men, that gut gets out there, high blood pressure, he popping pills. Sometimes it don't work right.
Did you know, statistically, this is an interesting fact.
Sure.
I found this out from a friend of mine who...
She was a friend of yours.
Yeah, she's a friend. And no, because she dated a guy who had this problem.
Right.
That sometimes when guys get overweight, like their stomach gets bigger, their member gets smaller.
Your penis does get smaller.
Yes. I didn't. Well,
The
I
more
mean,
in shape
I knew it'd be
I've
harder
gotten,
to get
it's just
to.
gotten so uncontrollable.
I knew it'd be hard to get to, but I didn't realize it would actually be
Did
like
you say hard
this-
to get to? That's so
well,
hilarious.
underneath, like, what are you picking it up? Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So
Sorry, Gina, what was that?
But another advantage to a younger guy.
Run that whole thing back.
run that back.
Yeah,
Okay,
what did you say?
our producer is concerned. Okay, so the concern is
That's true, though.
that when your stomach gets larger, your penis could shrink.
Absolutely.
Like, and then when you gain all that weight, every 50 pounds, you get an inch back that you lose.
Wow. So you were kind of struggling to begin with.
I'm like, okay, that
and you have a big stomach.
is not cute. So now you got to send his ass to Weight Watchers and hope that you get like an inch and a half back.
Are you saying visually and practically, or
No,
literally?
for real.
I'm saying literally, if you take out a tape measure,
That's a fact.
that is a real thing. Physiologically.
As a relationship person.
Look, you're going to be on that
it's a
treadmill
fact.
tomorrow, aren't you? You're going to be
Hence
like,
the-
I'm going to be on the Peloton the
Hence-
second I get up out of here.
Hence,
Yep.
I'll be 95 years old with the best body of a 95-year-old
I'm gonna have
man
to
you've
run the
ever
rest of the
seen.
show from in there because I'll be here doing sit-ups and whatnot.
That's right. Get the crunch on. I'm
Get
trying
it
to tell
together.
you.
Get it together.
Get it in because
But another advantage of a cougar, young men are more trainable. Because men are already hard-headed, right?
right.
I know I am. I get yelled at all the time for just breathing, regular stuff. I do. It is what it is. My wife is going to
Sometimes
text me
breathing is
like,
annoying.
I got it. But they're trainable.
Mm-hmm.
And they take some pride in being with somebody older. I got an older, person.
They're like, I got me a vet. It's like, okay.
Right. And for the cougar, that guy
Instead
has
of
less
bearing your
baggage.
ass out.
A younger guy has less baggage. He's not paying child support. Even though you footing the bill for
You're
most of
going
this.
way too far.
But okay, let me go to the cons. You footing the bill, even for those say they're not paying. He ain't got as much stuff. You paying for some of his parking tickets, his homies to come over, his video game addiction. You paying for all of that. You paying for it. One way or another.
Not
You might say you're
necessarily.
not, but you're paying for
Not
it.
necessarily.
And I'm not
Because
saying the good doesn't outweigh the bad. But anyway, I'm done.
there are a lot of cougar relationships, where you can just cut it off at relations because there's no ships. At the
But
end.
there's always one person, Gina B, who sort of wants some more time. Because some of these,
I don't care what he
some
wants.
cougar
I'm
babies
just
might have
telling you
good
what-
conversation.
Maybe. But
Maybe he's swinging it like that.
generally,
Maybe
if
you're
he's
not
swinging
trying to
like-
be alone
I know a lot of people who have conducted midnight to 7 a.m. relationships
with cougar babies.
cougar babies because what women.
So you know a lot of
want-
cougars?
I've known some cougars in my day. I know a woman who actually, she's a comedian, and she called herself a
Somebody
cougar
just
comedian.
said, young guys are just too annoying.
Yeah, that's
Catherine
why you want
Bowman,
Catherine
one of
Bowman.
our-
That's why you make them shut up and show up at midnight. Like they start talking, it's now
wonder-
see, there we go with you and that talking thing again. Like you just
And they would actually listen to that, though.
and then-
That's true.
Well, look, what do they care? They're just trying to get some. I mean, like if realistically, if you've got a woman who's 40.
But
Her hormones, because nature sets this up, right?
Okay.
Nature screws us.
yeah,
because
sexually, the perfect
nature-
match is, I see where you're going with
40, 18. 40-year-old woman, 18-year-old boy. Because the 40-year-old men, by the time they get to be 40, they're like,
Except for hosts
and
of
so
the
they're
Kris the
like,
Critic show.
we'd rather have a sandwich than have sex, right? Like, or, whatever.
host of the Kris the Critic show.
Okay. Yeah. They'd rather have a sandwich and go to the bathroom or something than have great sex. And the 40-year-old women are like, I'm sorry, I got all this going on. Like, what?
I got this vibrator. I just out of batteries. I've been
She's
using.
like,
I'm waiting on
so
the human.
let me find the 21-year-old who,
True. I have no problem with that.
he
That's
can,
true.
3 times a night, whatever. He can get it in. And then he can shut up
True.
because no one wants to hear all that, whatever that is, right? So therefore, that's why I was saying, paying for things, you're going way too far. She's like, okay, can you just come over
Do you
at 2 a.m. and be out of here
do,
by
do you
5,
think
6?
all excellent points? Do you think some of the cougars who maybe have been married already, right?
Okay. Those are the ones that want the cougar.
But let's say they get a really good
Tired of their
looking,
husbands.
shows well, cougar babe, a cougar cub, right? He shows well. Do you think that they want more time from that person, or do you think they ever get caught up, or no? You just think,
mean
oh
the
no,
dudes?
they're women. They can dispose of
You
them.
mean
like,
the guys?
I know guys can get caught up because we are very simple creatures. I'm an honest person.
I mean-
do you think the woman? I want to see if you, because I'm ready to call bullshit if you say no. Do you think the women can get caught up with the guy.
Okay, here's the thing.
Yes
You
or no?
could potentially, but here's the problem. Their youth shows up in very interesting ways.
Absolutely, no doubt.
In ways that you're not willing to tolerate as a 40-year-old woman who like has a job.
True.
You know, if you happen to go to his apartment, because it's an apartment. If you go to his apartment,
If he has one.
if he has an apartment, if he's has an apartment,
He probably lives with her.
and he doesn't have 72 roommates, right?
Right.
So you've got that whole thing where the apartment's never really quite clean, or everything that he has is like from the dollar store. I mean, it shows up in ways like he's on the phone all the time. He's texting. So it shows up in weird ways. And in ways that are enough to turn you off from wanting an actual relationship with him.
So the actual cougars, did you know, were these private relationships? Because I want to ask, did there? Because what happens is similarly with the sugar daddy, families don't like this. Somebody's mom.
He doesn't meet
if he's a
family.
good-looking kid.
What is wrong with
If
you?
he's a good-looking kid, and I'm just saying, if he's a good-looking dude. His
my
mom is
God.
probably looking like, who is this old chicken? What is she
can't.
doing with my baby?
No. He doesn't meet the family.
Wow.
Why would he
You
meet
know
the
some
family?
shrewd ass. Oh, well, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. And I'm learning right here.
Here comes my hot young thing. I mean, ladies, I think we learned a lot from Terry McMillan, didn't we?
That's true. You can tell. I mean, you've seen.
Telly getting a groove
you
back
watch Super Bowl
with a hairdresser.
with grown women, and they're like, "Oh man, well that's a good looking kid." I'm like, she's over there. I mean, it's cool because men do it all the time. It's just weird to see women do
We
it,
objectify.
right?
We objectify.
That's why I got you on here, Gina B, because everybody else lie. All these other women out here like, women do not objectify, women do not sin.
We don't
None of
lie,
that.
objectify.
That's why you're on the show.
I'm telling you. I will tell you the truth. It's the truth. Women objectify all
Do
day.
you think
see
any of
some
these
fine
people
man
have?
on the street, like,
Let's talk about a few
"Whoa,
negatives before we go to the cougar. What's his name? Cougar Cub.
Cougar Cup. Right.
I think there's another negative for the sugar mama.
Okay.
Cougar is similar. I mean, she's not in the best shape.
Sometimes she is.
A lot of them are.
I mean, listen, if you're talking about a woman who is after a young man for stamina,
But
that bitch is kicking ass and taking names.
I know
saying.
some big. Excuse me. I'm
just saying.
I know some big who probably got some stamina. But my point is,
They can work it out too, but they've got things to teach.
age attacks
finesse
everybody,
game.
right?
It's a finesse game.
Age goes after everybody, right?
It does.
A guy's
He's not absolved.
Even though a guy might have a blue pill, he might be able to be
He could
ready.
die from that pill.
His hip could hurt. His knee could hurt. It's a lot of women out here with sore backs and knees. I hear it already. So you got some young Thundercat knocking it down. I just want to know, it could be a negative at point. Because he's like, what you talking about your knee hurt? Your back hurt? I'm just saying.
You better get some Bengay and keep it moving. I'm
I'm sure that's what the guys say too.
I need to meet Catherine Bomer because she's like,
Catherine Bowman
we
is the
enjoy
truth,
eye
by the way.
candy, but we don't have to take it past that. That's what I'm talking
Catherine
about.
Bowman, first off, Catherine Bowman is probably very, other than
Okay, don't
you,
give away
my
too
wife,
much
she's
information.
very
Okay,
level-headed.
Okay, there we go.
She's an Illini grad, which makes her all that. She's the
Dope.
truth.
Dopeness. Okay, so back to the
Okay, go
point
ahead.
though.
Before we get to the Cougar Cub, poor guy.
Poor guy. Listen, is there a disadvantage to being a Cougar Cub?
Are we ready to go to him?
Yes, let's go there. What is the disadvantage
All right, now,
of being a Cougar
I said
Cub?
earlier,
Thundercat, as she calls him.
I
Okay,
said
so
earlier, the sugar baby is the only person out of this four who probably has to renegotiate the contract. Because men are men. They're going to always want more for whatever they're doing, right? Now, the Cougar Cub, like you said, he has some great pros. He's probably not spending what he normally spends or even receiving some cash, meals, benefits, or whatever. Women are a little more frugal, so they just ain't dropping houses unless you had a side hustle in porn, and
No.
maybe you can get that.
because a 40-year-old woman also knows better.
Absolutely.
Anyway, she's like, hell
you can
no.
find an older man doing
Right.
the dummy. You don't find that many older women doing the dummy. It just don't
They're not
happen.
doing all that.
Kudos to women, y'all smarter.
I'm not saying
creatures.
that all women
But
don't do it.
so the pros for
most.
the younger guy, he gets some freaky sex. Things the young girl's not ready to do yet. The older
And they
lady's
don't know
doing that
about.
and then some.
Right.
He eats better. He learns
What do you
some
mean
etiquette.
by that?
Right. I'm not saying that. But anyway, he learns some etiquette. He knows what fork to use now.
Who does?
The younger guy. He learns some etiquette.
Where?
He doesn't learn it with the younger woman. The older woman's going to tell him how to eat.
Oh, the older woman teaches him.
She
Okay,
takes him out
there
to
we
eat
go.
every
There we go.
now and then if he's doing his job. He learns which fork to use.
I'm trying to explain to you that sometimes they don't go out to dinner. But go ahead.
I think they do. But
Because no woman wants
The
to go
woman
with a
li-
guy where you run into your friends like, oh, is that your nephew? No.
the woman,
He'll be throwing it down later.
listens to him, or at least pretends to.
Okay.
She probably helps fund his rap career.
Wait,
'cause
who listens to
You know
him?
he has a rap career.
The objective is for him not to talk. Who's listening
I'm
to
just
him?
giving the pros of being a
Okay,
cougar
I'm
cub.
okay, fine. I'll be quiet.
She probably helps fund his rap career or gives him a couple bucks
Herb's laughing at
for
me.
studio time. But here's some of the cons.
What's that?
The biggest one, I'm going to lead with the worst one first.
Okay.
Eventually, I'm going to wait it out. So the cons for him are this. He's dealing usually with a woman who's had a couple kids. She smokes weed. She drinks Hennessy.
Wait, where are we getting all that?
Those are the cons for being a cougar cub.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
Her body looks like it. It is
Not
what it is.
necessarily.
But if you're cool with it and you can get through it, that's why she got you. And eventually, she's going to leave him because he's a man, and all men eventually do something stupid, and he's bringing absolutely zero to the table, and she's going to replace him for Cougar Cub version 2.0. He's the only one here that's probably going to be replaced. He lives it up.
Everyone can be replaced. What are
I
you
know, but
talking
it's
about?
hard for...
Women can find it anywhere.
That's what I'm saying. An older woman can find a younger man. And I agree.
There is a steady supply of
I agree.
peen
I
out there.
agree. Which one I'm saying, he has probably, even though
But that's okay because he can get, just as there's a steady supply of it, he can supply someone else.
That's true, but there are more men offering these services. Hence, there's a
There's a lot of women that need them.
But there's a sugar baby convention, sugar daddy convention. There's not a cougar cub, cougar baby.
All a
at
man
least
needs
not
to do
national.
is go to a strip club.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, too.
The demand for younger women in this role and the supply of older men are here. Supply of younger women are here.
Right. Well, the older
That's
men
just not as
die
well
at some
known.
point. What?
Because women keep stuff like you said under the vest. Yeah, smarter creatures. I agree. But he's going to get asked to leave at some
that doesn't
point.
mean we only have one.
He's going to fuck up. He's going to do something stupid.
Of course he's going to do. And that's the reason why we don't let them talk that much.
True.
Because he's going to say something or do something really stupid. And you don't want to give him, you want to, like, if you've got a situation with a younger dude, right? You're a cougar, okay? And it's a sexual arrangement, okay? You're going to try to keep it going for a while.
I'm not saying it's just sexual. You keep saying I'm not saying it. I'm saying it's sexual, emotional, financial.
Okay. It's a sexual situation.
Because if I'm one of these cougar cubs, if I'm a cougar cub or a sugar baby, I mean, it's transactional. You know what I'm saying? So
we women have ways of setting you men up so that you don't disappoint us.
I gave women kudos.
One of those is talking. Okay.
We're not going to have Battle of the Sexes today, but we let them think they running this.
Conversation.
But guys really run this shit.
Listen, in that area, guys run things. Okay, so let's
before
see.
we leave, I want to ask you, did you read anything interesting? Because you are responsible for the comments.
I'm about to tell you right now. So Jamal Matuka,
That's my man.
That's your man.
That's my man.
He says men endeavor to get laid. It's an achievement. Women announce they are ready to be laid. There's a difference.
We probably need to have him on the show.
We should have him on the show.
He's a smart dude.
Then my friend Heather's like, sometimes my back do be hurting. Like, yeah, but it's totally different.
That's true.
And it is the rule
I
of
agree with
supply and
Jamal on
demand.
that.
Dick is abundant. Why would anyone pay for it?
Who said that?
Heather.
Heather said that? Mm-hmm. Heather, because you aren't satisfied
Look, it's
with
right
what you're
there.
getting, Heather. And there are a lot of women and men not satisfied for what they're getting. And they have the expendable income, Heather. That's the simple answer. And you knew the answer to that, Heather.
A lot of women have expendable income.
Men too.
But my point being, okay, so the difference.
That's a fallacy, by the way.
The difference
that
is
black men don't have expendable. That's a fallacy.
I'm not saying they don't have expendable. I'm saying they do. So what I'm saying, though, is that the women are with the men for the expendable income. Now, you have to keep in mind that there is, and we've had this conversation many times, men are valued for For what, Kris?
They should be valued for what the lifestyle they can afford someone.
Provide.
But they're not, because our community has it all twisted and messed up.
All right, Herb, don't be back
You can
there.
be a broke-ass dude right now and come up, because these
You
women
can be.
think that's stupid.
You
If
can
I
be.
were a woman, you better have some shit. But women got it all fucked up. Y'all done fell off a little bit.
A lot of
It is
women,
what it is.
he got it twisted.
They fell off.
But,
They fell off a little bit.
But
Don't hate.
You know,
I'm a reporter.
women are classically regarded for what, Kris? Why are women regarded for our
Kris Levy's ass
for
cooking. Cooking.
For our appearances?
Yeah, that too.
Maybe cooking. Okay, so
I hate shit.
my point being that it's, you know, you look at everyone's getting what they want here, right?
It
so
should
the
be
woman
like
is
that.
getting the dude that's got the money. The guy wants the pretty chick, right, who's younger, who he can feel good about from an
Right.
ego perspective. And then on the cougar side, the woman is, you know, getting the sexual thing fulfilled.
Right.
You know, she probably, in a perfect world, would like a man who's, you know, going to take care of her, etc.
She wants a man listening to her too.
But if she can't have that,
Right.
then why suffer sexually?
Right. What did Heather just say? A woman
Could be 88, blind, crippled, and cray, and still find someone ready and willing and excited to get it.
Heather, I'm going to call bullshit on that, because I know a lot of women who say, it's been 3 years and I haven't slept with anybody because I'm not going to settle, because they got the game all messed up.
Well, because they're not going to settle, but I'm talking about if
because
you
they
just
too
want,
much in the looks.
No, I
they
can't.
don't subscribe to what you just pitched.
Maybe those men aren't attracted to them either, though. It depends on the woman. You really need to look at the woman. No, seriously, you have to look at the
It's gonna be
woman.
a whole nother show.
It is a whole nother show.
Because some women got it messed up. Some women got it messed up.
Some women do have it messed up. We have to have a whole show on that, because I think a lot of women have it twisted.
Right. Thank you. I just wanted to hear that.
You know what I mean? A lot of women have it twisted. But my point is, if you're going to not have a man who can, if you're going to do all that by yourself, right? If you're going to just provide for yourself and just
Right.
kind of handle it, then you don't want to do everything for yourself, is my point.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
Sometimes you relate to yourself.
Listen, people, we're almost out of time. Remember, tune in to Brian Foster right after this. Ask a Black Man Anything. He has a panel of black men. And then we got Week Hell Wednesdays.
Thank you.
Right
Ramus
after
man.
that, I do go back after the show and look at all the comments.
They're
And I
fun
try-
to read.
Those of you, because we got some fairly smart folk
We do.
that tune in.
We have fun.
I want to
people.
hear from you.
I love
I
our
want to
audience.
listen to what you said. If I didn't mention it on the show, my apologies. But I will get to it, and I want to see what you had to say, especially any of your experiences. But that's all we got right now. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you
for
to
the
our
Cougar
regulars.
And the Sugar Daddy.
Thank you,
Do me
Tiger
a favor.
Lily.
I
Thank
always
you.
forget to ask. Like the Kris the Critic page. Follow the Kris the Critic page. Share a post here and there.
And you
That's
can
all
come
I'm
hit me
asking.
up too. Gina B. Gina B. Period is the
We
one
gonna
that
do
I pay attention to.
You know what? We're going to do that.
Yeah,
Because you got like 5 pages.
I do have 5 pages, but follow Gina B. It's Gina B. Period. Don't
used to be an-
follow Gina B. because
She used to be an
that
Insta-
one's shady.
She used to be an Instagram personality, but we'll talk about that life.
No, I
We'll
wasn't.
talk about that life again.
All right.
Again, thank you all for coming. Peace and blessings. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Go have a shot of tequila
Drink lots.
because that's where I'm going. Kris the
Exactly.
Critic, Gina B. We out. Peace.
Peace.